Yeah, the way I think of PR is in kind of two ways. One is amplification of what you're currently doing at whatever level, and then a leverage point for what you want to do. So I have a colleague. The experience, another experience I've had outside of working with you is I got a colleague that I have worked closely with or stayed in touch with, and he hired someone to handle his PR for him exclusively because he saw it was a priority for him, right, to build his personal brand. And over the last, I don't know, couple of years, again back to the repetition point, he has added a lot of logos or business magazines, marketing magazines, different industry specific publications to his credibility that he now has on LinkedIn, on his website, and other places. And what's so cool that I've seen happen is now that he has that credibility or the trust that you're talking about that's built immediately when someone doesn't know you and then they see that, oh, you have all this stuff that obviously these people thought highly enough of you to consider your thoughts credible, they can come out of nowhere and see you. And of course, it can't just be that. It's got to be, like you said, a lot of other factors that play in. But they can see you and build trust quickly. So the velocity in which you can build trust with a buyer is exponential when you have sort of this backlog of public relation type of work in the mix. And just to bring it around to to insert it into more of a bigger marketing strategy. Now that you have that, you can leverage it so you can drive people to a conversion point, right? So like a lot of things that I'll help my clients with is helping them think through what their buyers really are, the needs they're trying to solve, like the problems they have, and creating these conversion points, call it a workshop, webinar, some type of an event that you're driving towards. And if someone comes out of the blue and they haven't been following you, right, but now they kind of peek their head into your ecosystem of the content you've created, and they see all of this stuff that you've done from a PR standpoint, the velocity at which they are going to convert is much higher than if they have to have a big question mark in their mind as well. They posted this article or they posted this blog post and that was pretty insightful, and they seem pretty intelligent on LinkedIn, and I like the way their website looks, but they have this third party credibility there. Immediately that factor of trust is built, and now they could be a conversion point at that event, which I think is amazing.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the trust factor, if you come across somebody that's written a book, um, that automatically like elevates somebody in others' minds. And
Mhm.
with PR, I mean, it doesn't have to be a book. I mean, that's a huge thing. But just under that, I mean, if you are regularly getting media attention, um, yeah, it's funny in the marketing funnel where, a lot of people think PR is just general awareness, which it can be.
Mhm.
But further down in
Mhm.
that funnel, when somebody sees it, if they see you for the first time, it's going to, like you said, it's got that trust, but it's going to move them one step closer to buying or
Mhm.
utilizing your service or whatever that may be. It it just moves them further down the funnel. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one thing. And then the other benefit is that among your current network, your network of LinkedIn followers, your Twitter or email followers, that kind of thing. When they start seeing you in the media more and more
Mhm.
frequently, they're going to be a megaphone for um, the people they're connected with, because they not only do they already
Right.
follow you and they trust you to a certain extent, but when they see that you have media placements in credible places, then it's just going to magnify, and they're going to kind of naturally and more of a grassroots type thing. You'll get more followers and possibly more customers.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. That's an interesting way to approach it because, um, you know, what you're saying is that your social presence and engagement can underscore anything you do with PR and vice versa. So, you know, you're really building, as I like to think about it, like an ecosystem of content that people can participate in and observe. Um,
Hmm.
I think that's kind of it's good to think about like, you know, what results are you going to get from PR? Well, I mean, you're probably going to get more results than you may have thought traditionally, but it's what PR is going to do for you in the ecosystem of everything else you're doing. It's not a singular siloed type of thing.